Hey, travelers, back in the house, and we got some more beer to drink this week. Of course, for those of you that have been checking out our new podcast called Taproom Takeover, the link will be below again for those of you that used the link last week, and we hope that you check it out. If you haven't checked it out already, check out the previous one, and then check out the one this week, which happens to be at K./Coffee Grounds. And I know we talk about Coffee Grounds quite a bit because that's where we get a lot of our beer. The selection is almost unbeatable, I would say, right?
And they have Candace.
Yeah, they have Candace. So Candace doesn't actually watch this show, I don't think. But she does listen to the podcast now, so that's nice. So we had Candace on the podcast, and then we had Tom, who is the brewer / keg washer / pretty much everything at K-Point. I had, of course, Troy eked out on me this week. Dang Troy, anyway. But I had Candace and Tom on there. We talked about all kinds of things. And it may interest you, for those of you that are willing to travel, coming up in May. Beer and bacon. Beer and bacon at K-Point.
Speaking of beer.
Yeah.
Today is what?
Today, well, when we're recording this, it is National Beer Day. So when you're watching it, if it's on Thursday, it's the day after. So,
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. National Beer Day. As if we needed a day to drink beer, right?
Every day is National Beer Day.
There was New Beer's Eve, which is the day before National Beer Day. So we celebrated that a little bit too. I can't go wrong with that. But tonight we have 2 beers because that's what we do when Beth is on the vlog. We do 2 beers. And
I'm a cheap date. Sorry.
she is a cheap date. No doubt about that. One from Minnesota, one from Wisconsin. Yeah. Both beers, of course, that we've never had before. We've talked about Falling Knife before. I don't know that we've ever actually had a Falling Knife beer on the vlog.
I don't think so.
Yeah. It's in the old... Help me remember the name of the brewery that was the English brewery in Minnesota? Northgate, yes. Thank you. I'm getting old, and I have a tough time remembering names.
No, I just normally land and can remember everything, so I feel very privileged that I remembered one thing.
Well, thank you for contributing to my memory.
I know.
Yes. So Northgate was very near and dear to most of our hearts because of the English style beer, and they called it quits even before COVID, and then they had another owner, and then that fell through, and then Northgate came in, and it's kind of been the cat's meow lately. A lot of people talk about Falling Knife as the up and coming, new brewery in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area.
But they didn't take and do the same thing as Northgate, same style of beers.
No, they're doing a lot of IPAs. I've seen a lot of IPAs come out of there. Obviously, I don't gravitate towards those. So when I saw a stout, I thought, you know what? We'll give their stout a try. We'll see what that's like. So this one's called Crushed Velvet. I don't know if it's a
leisure suit.
Yeah, it is a leisure suit. I don't know if it's an homage to Prince.
Oh.
Because Prince was, heavy into purple.
Purple Rain.
But even if it's not, the design is pretty cool.
Ooh, that is an interesting color.
This is a vanilla stout with real Madagascar vanilla.
It's almost green, yellow, brown.
Green, yellow, brown?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm a hairstylist. I can say that.
Very descriptive.
Ooh, smells delicious. High alcohol content here. 7.4.
7.4. You're right.
Ooh.
A lot of vanilla.
A lot of vanilla. It's very good though. Smooth.
Yeah, smooth. It's very smooth.
Don't taste a lot of.
You know, it's almost got like a porter finish.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a little more on the nutty side than a stout would. It's not bad.
No, it's very good. It's very vanilla though.
You know, I wonder what would happen when this starts to warm up, because this.
Well, let's let it sit.
I just pulled these guys out of the fridge before we started shooting this thing, so.
Yeah, I bet there'd be more of a flavor profile then. It's good though. I love. And what's with we go to places like we just went to the Hangar the other night and and they look at me and they're like, "Oh, we have this IPA and this IPA," and I'm like, "I don't want IPA."
You know, I noticed that. I don't know if women grab, and maybe those of you that watch and love to comment, maybe you can tell us a little more. Is it that women gravitate towards IPAs if they're a beer drinker, or what is it really? I guess.
Because do you? Because I don't.
No, and I agree with you. The opposite of what I've been hearing, that when women go in and into a bar or brewery or whatever, a lot of the times they'll get ignored, and whoever's bartending or whatever will talk directly to the man, right? Well, the opposite happened the other night when we were at a bar.
Restaurant.
Bar restaurant. I asked what was on tap, and I got the typical, well,
what do you like?
Basically,
drink?
What do you like? And I like everything. You know, just tell me what you have, and I'll choose. I don't want you to choose for me. And they really didn't have, 20 taps. It was more like 8, I think. But after I chose, it wasn't even after I chose.
Mm-mm.
They were talking directly to you.
Mm-hmm.
Once they started talking about IPAs, and I went, I asked what you had on tap.
We have this IPA, and then this one, and then this one, and then this one. I was like,
it was different. Yeah.
No.
Never had that before, but. Well, I'm not an IPA drinker either, so.
And don't get me wrong, I can appreciate a good beer, and when it's done well, it's done well. But I just don't prefer to drink them. So.
Yeah.
But I thought that was interesting how it was just every time you go in, well, we have IPA. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Is it because it's popular right now? Is it popular right now?
More popular than a seltzer? I don't think so. We are in a seltzer. We're beer people living in a seltzer world, I tell you.
Seltzer-demic.
Yeah. Jeez.
What you opening?
I blame Troy. So we're going to the Wisconsin beer.
But my beer group, I showed you my beer group. I'm in this women's beer group, and they have.
She owns it. It's her beer group. I'm just kidding.
Anyway, they had seltzer that's coming out that was Warheads. Looked really, really good.
Yeah. Oh, that was a seltzer. That wasn't a sour?
That was a seltzer.
Yeah. Yikes. Pass. Anyway, we're beer drinkers, so this is never going to be a seltzer blog. We've
tried them, though.
Yeah, unfortunately. Even seltzers that are made with beer. Anyway, Central Waters. It's been a while since we've had a Central Waters beer. I was going through a little FOMO a couple months ago, and they came out with a new beer that I was really positive that I wasn't going to get, and even if I could, it was going to be like a 4-pack that was selling for $18-20. So I didn't want to do that because the really sweet beers tend to sit in our fridge forever. If we have one and we
share
deem it super sweet, the other 3 sit there for almost an eternity because we have nobody that will drink them
until someone comes over and we're like, "Here, try this."
Yeah. So I had an inkling that this, and I have no idea. I have not had this beer yet. It is called "Why Is the Cake Gone?" It is an imperial porter aged in rum barrels. It is 13%.
Oh, snap!
It is a 12-ounce bottle, but it is quite high in alcohol. Anything with cake in the name usually has me thinking that it's going to be super sweet. Now, I trust Central Waters. Their flavors are usually pretty spot on, but every now and again you'll get a higher sweet beer. You know, something that's super sweet.
Did you read this on here?
No.
This robust porter has been aged in rum barrels and comes together with vanilla and natural flavorings to deliver a cake experience in liquid form.
So it's going to be sweet. Yeah.
It's a brewer's reserve. So
it's, and that's where we get the 13% because it's been aged in.
Oh,
Yeah. A lot of rum.
Oh, if this tastes anything like Bob's rum cake, I would be all about that.
So Bob is a guy that we used to work with. I think we've probably, for those of you that have watched for a while, those of us, 6/7 of us that are in the Taproom Travelers, used to work at Menards. Shout out to Bob if Bob ever watches this. His rum cake was the bomb.
It's perfect.
Wow. That sweetness really cuts through the rum, but you still get it. It's just not.
But it's not like, oh, so sweet.
And it's not so boozy.
I don't hate that.
Yeah, it's good.
It almost tastes like coconut because of the rum.
Yeah, that's really good.
It is really good.
That would be if we were back in the
This.
normal times, where you go into like, say, we have a place called the Firehouse here, where they have it's a tap house basically. You'd get a 10 or 12 ounce pour of that, and that'd be the only one that you have of that.
Yeah,
that
I'm
night.
glad we're at home tonight. But also, this, if we let this sit, I want to let it sit, and I really want to taste it a little bit because
I bet it's pretty good.
but it's
Yeah.
not so.
You're actually, as it's sitting in my
Mouth.
you're just letting it.
Yes.
You're getting a lot of coffee
Yes.
on the back. Did it
Almost-
say anything about coffee?
Almost espresso, not even coffee, like that. I don't want to say
Yeah.
bitter because it's not bitter, but it's like that nice, good
Well,
roasty.
like when you when you go to like a coffee shop and you get a coffee drink that's got, all the extra stuff in it, the whipped creams and the, stuff like that. But it still has the coffee in it, and so once you take a drink and you let it sit for a little while, the coffee actually starts to come through.
That dark roasty.
That's
That is
really good.
Really good.
Really complex though.
How many of those do you have?
That was it. But I bet Candace out of the coffee grounds probably still has more.
Yeah, I'm excited to just let that sit and see if we get even more flavor out of that.
That's good stuff.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's not like one of our not favorite places where it's so it's not sugary like that.
The place that shall go unnamed.
We dare not say its name. But it's still sweet, but it's a different sweet.
It's not, some of those beers, and some of you can relate, and I'll call one of them out. Untitled Art tends to be really on the sweet side. For those that like to drink those kinds of beers, have at it. And they sell really well, and there's a lot of people that gravitate towards them. However, I would consider myself more of a traditionalist. I would gravitate more towards Pilsners and those types of beers before I go for the super sweet. So, having said that, this kind of meets in the middle, where, say you were wanting, while you're out beer drinking or whatever, maybe you want a little something sweet, but you don't want something, really super sweet. This'll hit that. And you
Okay.
still get to keep drinking rather than going to the convenience store to buy a candy bar.
And you also can have one. But there's
Well,
also a difference.
You're not getting a 12-ounce pour when you go to a bar either.
No.
They're not giving you that.
No. But I mean, if you buy this bottle, that'd be the only bottle you drink the whole night. But there's a difference between, like, Untitled Art still isn't that syrupy, like, consistency of sweet. It's sweet, but it still is like light.
And we've had some beers where you pour it out and you can just
It's just the sugar has not gotten all the way.
ferment it.
It's not,
Yeah.
and it's
Well,
just yucky.
It's because, well, There's a lot of different reasons where, maybe they didn't use a yeast that can eat and convert all of that sugar to alcohol, and even if it did, you'd have like a 25%,
This is
ABV beer.
This is delicious.
It's really good.
The nose, though. Whoa.
It's it's not the booziest nose I've ever had on a beer, but yeah, definitely.
It smells like coconut. It smells like rum.
It's really good.
It's very good.
I'm glad I saved those 2 beers.
I'm so happy you shared
And
with me.
I'm glad those 2 beers were inside, because it'd be different sitting outside in the heat.
Yeah.
So we picked a good night to be back inside.
This one is definitely more complex. Is it because it sat longer?
It's barrel aged.
That's why. Way more complex than that one.
Well,
Even though that one warming up is going to be more this is like...
You get a lot of flavors from that barrel, and no 2 barrels are alike. And it didn't say what kind of rum, just rum. So, yeah.
It's good.
You'll sleep good tonight. No doubt about that. Anyway, that's it for this week. I think we've gone on long enough about beer and stuff. And make sure you check out that podcast, because... we want you to listen to it. So, a lot of good interviews so far, and there's more interviews that we have on the schedule that are looking really good too. A lot of places around Eau Claire. So, if you ever want to stop by Eau Claire and for a beer, reach out to us.
Mm-hmm.
We're here and we're fully vaccinated. So,
and a lot of the breweries around here have outdoor seating. So.
It's
stop
nice.
over,
and the way the weather has been so far this spring lends itself well to it. So anyway, check us out on all of the social media channels, and of course right here on YouTube. If you haven't already subscribed, you should definitely do that right now. Instagram, Facebook, and of course I've done Twitter like 3-4 times this year.
You tweeted?
I tweeted, I retweeted and tweeted, liked, loved, whatever it is, that kind of stuff. So, although I wouldn't recommend being on Twitter more than 5 minutes. You'll hate yourself, I guarantee it. Anyway, we will see you next week, everybody. I'll dig up Troy somewhere one of these days.
Sorry that you have to see my face again.
I love her so much. We'll see you next week, everybody. Prost.
Prost.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, you can click down below where there's some more episodes for you to watch. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on episodes that you do watch. We hope to see you next time.